We're ready for race 1 of 3 here at Donington, and it's Harry Newey who will line up on pole position. The ever-improving British driver ahead on the grid of Will Palmer. The championship leader will start second, and lining up third, Tom Jackson. Round 19 of the Duo BRDC F4 Championship is about to get underway. Poleman Harry Newey, Will Palmer lines up with him at the front of the grid. It is a 20-minute or 12-lap race. Drivers look to the lights that are red. The lights will go out now, and it's blast off with a good start made by the poleman Newey. Palmer bogs down just a little, and that means that the red car of Tom Jackson is up the inside and also away, while the second of the red cars of Omar Ismail, he goes through on the inside as well, and Ismail picks up the place. Palmer gets run out way wide, all over the curb, all over the grass, and he's lost another 2 places. Not an ideal start for Palmer. Now he's got to clean the tyres as well as he heads down towards the old hairpin for the first time. The race leader is Harry Newey up front then, and he is trying to build the gap as the rest of the field all files through. Up towards Schrott's Curve for the first time, on board with Amaya Vaidyanathan as they head through Schrott's Curve up towards McLean's, and Vaidyanathan doing a really good job here. He's 4th at the moment. Uses all the curb on exit, heads uphill now to the double apex right at Coppice. Right on his tail, look, is the Manxman, Chris Meelan in number 10, the red and white car there. And the field accelerates down towards the Melbourne loop for the first time. This is Will Palmer's view, and he's trying to fight back, inching up onto the tail of Chris Meelan ahead of him. Harry Newey, meantime, still leads the way. Tom Jackson is second as Palmer flicks left and right through Fogarty's. Down towards the Melbourne hairpin he comes. Meelan dives at the inside of Vaidyanathan. They're together, and another effort made lower down. Fonseca and Jack Lang get together, and round they both go. Rodrigo Fonseca was the aggressor. He launched himself up the inside, and it did not work, as now Meelan, number 10, the red and white car, tries to go around the outside. He's second of those 3 as they work their way through Goddard's up towards the timing line now. On board with Will Palmer, who really is benefiting from that scrap ahead. He's brought him right into the mix. Vaidyanathan in the red and white car, and then in the white and red, Meelan round the outside. A big slide, and all crossed up goes Tom Jackson at the old hairpin. That's thrown away second and third and 4th. Any more? Yes, 5th. He's lost 6th, 7th. He's tumbling down the order. Tom Jackson makes a mistake at the old hairpin. He's going to be lucky to hang on to a place in the top 10 as a result of that. Now this is a replay of the opening lap, and Rodrigo Fonseca's rather over-ambitious move up the inside of Jack Lang. It was never really on, was it? And look at the damage as Jack Lang's right-hand bodywork crumples. On board with Palmer. He's on the back of Ismail now, heading down towards Redgate, moves to the outside. This is looking back from Ismail's car. Can Palmer drive all the way round the outside? It's going to be really brave if he can. He keeps his foot in. Here he comes. And Will Palmer levels as they head towards Hollywood. He's on the outside line. He cuts across, and he's got his nose in front. So yes, Will Palmer has done it right round the outside of Redgate. Fantastic. That brings him up into 2nd place, chasing after Harry Newey, but the gap between them, I fear, is going to be too great because Newey has checked out up front. Another off, that's Jack Lang. He's already had 1 accident, and that is a 2nd. First time he was assaulted by Rodrigo Fonseca. This time it looks like he's done it all on his own. There's more drama coming over the timing line as Sisu and Gabalana is assaulted. Fernando Urrutia was the man that got involved with him, so Urrutia is out, and Gabalana hopefully can survive as now the leaders nose to tail hit Coppice. It's Harry Newey versus Will Palmer on this, the last lap of the race. Down to Fogarty's. Palmer has got 3 chances to go. This is the first of them, and he moves tentatively to the inside. But remember, much as he wants to win, he wants points for the championship. He could secure it this weekend. Down to the Melbourne hairpin they come. Newey having to defend for a race lead for the first time all year. Palmer to the outside, wide in, tight out. Could be the plan, but even if he does that, he might well be on the outside line for the last corner. He needs the inside line here, coming up towards Fogarty's. 1 corner to go. Is it going to be win 9 for Palmer or a first win for Harry Newey? It is going to be Harry Newey who comes through for the first time this year to score victory in the championship, with Will Palmer just 0.2 of a second behind him. What a drive by Palmer, but a great first win by Harry Newey. 3rd place will go the way of Amaya Vaidyanathan, and the rest of the field set to file through behind as Jordan Albert, a double winner this year in 23, heads up towards the timing line. Jordan Albert is going to finish in 8th place, and that is going to be pole position for race 2. A cracking first race. Jordan Albert then bags 8th behind Chris Mealin and Jack Bartholomew. Omar Ismail 5th, just behind Kieran Haggerty, with Vaidyanathan on the podium behind Palmer, and maiden winner Harry Newey.
Of the first race of the weekend for Harry.
I was really happy with that, you know. Great start, pulled away for the first few laps, and then, you know, just wanted to keep it going, keep a decent gap, and, you know, keep going to the end.
Definitely my worst start of the year, I think, so yeah, really happy to end up taking second place. Came close to the win in the end, but yeah, I'm still really happy with second place.
Keeping the pace up to stay with the people in front of me, and there was contact between them, but luckily I was there just to capitalise on it and yeah, take home the goods.
Race 2 about to get underway here at Donington, with Jordan Albert lining up on pole position, Chris Mealin with him at the front of the grid, and then it is Jack Bartholomew and Omar Ismail on the second row for what promises to be another cracking race. Jordan Albert, a double winner this year, lines up on pole position. Omar Ismail's view as we wait for the lights to go red, which they do now. Engine notes rise, the lights go out. Ismail makes a good start to trying to get up alongside Jack Bartholomew on the run down towards Redgate Corner for the first time. Jordan Albert leads the way. Bartholomew in the green crash helmet up the inside of his Lannan Racing teammate Chris Mealin in the other red and white car that goes round the outside. Mealin bags second as they round Redgate onto the top of the Craner curves for the first time. And this is Omar Ismail's view as they plunge downhill now. Through the left-hander, down towards the old hairpin. Ismail runs fourth. He's had a win this year. Jordan Albert then is up front in this 12-lap race. And there, having started from the pit lane, is Hernan Fallas. So he is a long way back in this second race of the weekend. And the battles rage on because Jack Bartholomew is under attack. The race leaders work their way up towards Coppice, on board again with Omar Ismail into the double apex right. Now can he find a way past Bartholomew on the run down towards the left and right at the Fogarty S's? Ismail trying to inch his way back up onto the rear wing of the car ahead, but he's not quite close enough to make a move. But they're 3 wide further back almost. Akhil Ravindra in the pale blue and white car flicks through Fogarty's, chasing after Abhay Vaidyanathan, number 51 in the red and white car. And a big lock-up by Jordan Albert, and a big dive up the inside by Bartholomew to try to prevent Ismail from going through. And round the outside, Omar Ismail is ahead as they make the run up towards the left at Goddard's. Into the corner, he locks up, scrabbles into the apex. He found it, he has, but up the inside tried to go Bartholomew. Omar Ismail manages to hang on to it despite going really deep into Goddard's that time, and the leaders go across the line as Palmer here, you're riding with Will Palmer, tries to make a move against Kieran Haggerty. Will Palmer rounds Redgate onto the top of the Craner curves. There's a gap on the inside. Can he take it? Yes! Is he up alongside? Yes, he is. But he's on the outside line for the next part of the Craner curves. Doesn't matter. He's on the inside for the old hairpin. The road will come to him and Palmer goes through. Brave stuff. Level with Haggerty all the way through that corkscrew effect down to the old hairpin. Race leaders head up towards McLean's. There is Will Palmer, 8 times a winner this year. And for every place and every point, he's edging closer to the championship that mathematically he could wrap up this weekend. Number 8 is Jack Bartholomew, and look, it's almost 4 for the race lead now. Jordan Albert not being able to extend the advantage. Started on pole, but he's still got his mirrors full of Chris Mealin, whose mirrors are full of this man, Omar Ismail, who is being caught again by Jack Bartholomew, even though Ismail managed to find a way through at Goddard's a couple of laps back. Bartholomew has stayed with him and he's attacking as they head down towards the Melbourne hairpin. Up the inside tries to go Bartholomew. Ismail looks for a way past Mealin, and Palmer here, 5th, is right with them. There is one gigantic 20-wheel F4 chassis for the race lead as they all dive in towards Goddard's. Up the curve goes Ismail, he's second, he makes contact with Mealin, who gets forced off the road. A gesticulation from Mealin, who then demolishes the hoardings as he heads back to the track. He's managed to wrap some of that round the front of the car, look, but Chris Mealin very unimpressed with Omar Ismail's slightly aggressive tactics there. But the man that's really benefited, look, is Will Palmer, who has gained more places. In race 1, he finished right on the tail of Harry Newey, but copped a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Didn't affect his race position, but he's just bought a whole lot more in this. This was the replay. Ismail and Milin made contact. I don't think it was deliberate by Ismail, it was just the different trajectories that they were on. Contact inevitable. Milin comes off worse. So Jordan Albert leads the race. Will Palmer is now right on his tail. Palmer runs second, and he's about to make a move for the race lead. Look, down through the Craner curves. And we're getting news that Jordan Albert has been given a penalty for a jump start. Jordan Albert is going to be given a 10-second penalty for a jump start. And although Will Palmer is about to make the move to get the lead on the track, he was effectively the leader anyway, but he's gone by. Will Palmer takes over the race lead. If he is going to win a championship at Donington today, this is the way he wants to do it. Winning races, overtaking people. So Jordan Albert loses the lead, but then of course you have to add 10 seconds to his race time. He's going to plunge down the order. That means as they head down towards Fogarty's, although he's second on the road, he's going to fall behind Vaidyanathan, who's at the back of this battle pack, because they're all within 10 seconds of him. Right on his tail now, look, is Jack Bartholomew, but as far as Albert is concerned, he's going to fall down the order. Into the Melbourne hairpin they come. Jack Bartholomew in number 8 round the outside here. Omar Ismail tries to get up the inside. Bartholomew then back ahead of Ismail, and now goes for second. Jordan Albert defends. That leaves the door open on the outside here for Ismail. But the outside line is not the ideal place at Goddard, so he has to get it back in behind Jack Bartholomew as they come over the line. Albert second on the road, but down the order in real terms. Bartholomew tries the inside. Ismail runs fourth on the road. Kieran Haggerty is fifth. And Omar Ismail is also being given a penalty for exceeding track limits. This man, Omar Ismail, he will get a 5-second penalty. So what you're seeing on the track is not really the race result, the race situation. Albert gets a 10-second penalty. Ismail here will have 5 seconds to drop him down the order. So Jack Bartholomew inherits second place, even though, look, he's dropping away, heading uphill there from Jordan Albert. The man he's defending from now, Omar Ismail, is not really a rival because he too will drop away. What Bartholomew doesn't want to do, though, is defend or attack or battle with a car that's not really a true rival and risk going off. So it becomes confusing all round for the drivers to know who they ought to be fighting with and whether it's worth letting somebody by. The one easy thing in this is that Will Palmer is dominating up front. Amir Vaidyanathan has a look at the inside of the all-red and black car there in the hands of Omar Ismail, but it comes to naught. It's going to be a very jumbled order at the end of this race. And of course, if there were to be a safety car and bunch everybody up, that would have a negative effect for the penalised. Here's the replay. Jordan Albert just, look, creeps ever so slightly over his grid box. And the timing beam picks that up, and so a penalty goes his way as Chris Mealin's car, still with the hoarding wrapped round the front, loses out to Michael O'Brien, or does it? No, O'Brien across the curb of the gravel. That delays him. In fact, and Akhil Rabindra's blue and white car nips by as well. Rabindra for Douglas Motorsport to the outside of Mealin, and there's contact as Michael O'Brien gets up the inside. That turns Rabindra through 90 degrees. O'Brien comes to a dead stop as well, and now they've got to try and sort themselves out. It's all down at the Melbourne hairpin. Look at the gravel off the road as well there. Jordan Albert in the meantime heads up towards the timing line. It's been another lively race, and Will Palmer is heading for a 9th victory of the season. Another battle here, the orange car of Jack Lang trying to defend from Fernando Urrutia, and then side by side behind, look, Sisu and Gebelana in the blue and white livery runs wide. James Reveller up the inside all the way through the order. They are squabbling still, and Reveller is going to lose out, and Gebelana right round the outside coming through Hollywood. Downhill, Jack Lang, his car two-toned in livery because it had a number of incidents yesterday, so a lot of repair work done overnight, but the good news is he's on track. Race leaders, though, are working their way down towards the Melbourne Loop once more. It's going to be Will Palmer to win, and although this won't give him the championship, he is going to be able to wrap that up, I reckon, in the 3rd race of the weekend, because all the championship opposition has struggled for various reasons in this race, and now almost with one hand on that champion's trophy is Will Palmer, assuming he stays up front. He's running out of laps, but he is looking for a 9th win of the season. Omar Ismail turns through Goddard's, again uses the curb on the inside. He's still on the tail of Jack Bartholomew as they work their way up past the pits now, down towards Redgate once more. We're on the last lap of the race, and Omar Ismail is looking not only to finish third on corrected times, but on the podium as well. But I don't think he is going to be able to bag third. He's got a 5-second penalty for track limits, and Jack Bartholomew is looking strong, but also behind, Amaya Vaidyanathan is within 5 seconds. This man is out on his own. Will Palmer is set to score win number 9. In the background there, Charlie Kemp with the sunnies on his head, team owner, and he'll be well pleased if Will Palmer can not just win the race, but come the end of the day, be crowned champion. HHC, which started off in historic racing and in Ginetta racing, ran Will Palmer in the Ginetta Junior Championship and then moved up to F4 in its debut season a couple of years back. Through comes Will Palmer. Race 2 of the weekend is going to be won by Will Palmer. It is win number 9 of the season. Palmer wins, and then we have to look at the timing screen and count cars over the line and see how the result is going to be affected. Here come Arrutia and Reveler together. They make their way almost side by side over the timing line, a virtual dead heat between them. So for the race result, you've got to factor in penalties. Jordan Albert drops to 8th, Harry Newey drops to 7th, Omar Ismail drops to 5th, and that means Amaya Vaidyanathan bags 3rd behind Jack Bartholomew, and race winner, Will Palmer.
I think I held position off the start, and then I managed to pick my way through to the lead. I think a couple fell off as well. But yeah, then I was up behind Jordan in 2nd place, and I went around the outside of him at McLean's to move into the lead.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. You know, Will's been really quick all year, so everyone knows he's really hard to beat. So in theory, I feel like I've won the race against everyone else. So yeah, really happy with that. Thanks to everyone at the team for giving me a good car.
MD of Donington Park, and this is the Raymond Mays Challenge.
Race 3 of the weekend could well see a champion be crowned. Will Palmer lines up on pole position. Harry Newey with him at the front of the grid. We're ready for 12 laps, 20 minutes of racing. The 5-second board is displayed. The drivers now will look towards the lighting gantry. Will Palmer starts on pole position, and it's go! Palmer makes a really good start. Newey cuts across to defend from Hernan Fallas on the run down towards Redgate on this first lap of the race. Round the outside in number 9, tries to go Rodrigo Fonseca, who goes second. But if Will Palmer stays out front, he's going to win the championship, irrespective of his championship rivals Tom Jackson and Harry Newey. If he's behind them, then it gets a bit more complicated. But at the moment, he's absolutely in the box seat, on board with Kieran Haggerty as they swoop down through the Craner curves for the first time. Out of the old hairpin, there's one off in the background. 2 cars, in fact, have run off, and one of them is Chris Meelan in number 10. Meelan is off the road, and it looks as though it was possibly Tom Jackson that went with him. But Chris Meelan is in the gravel and going no further. Palmer is leading. Another one that's gone wide is Jack Bartholomew coming out of McLean's. It's the last race of the weekend for the F4 competitors. They're almost getting a bit D-Mob happy. It's been a very lively first lap thus far. On board with Haggerty now. He's trying to get the run on Amaya Vaidyanathan as they head down towards Fogarty's. Pulls out, has a look, pulls back in again, and sideways all over the curve there is Fonseca. Even wider is Hernan Fallas in the red and white car, number 77. Is this going to help Haggerty? No, he is under attack because charging up on the inside, look, goes Sisu and Gabalana. And Gabalana goes by in the blue and white car, number 37. Vaidyanathan is hung out to dry. Jack Bartholomew is up the inside of him, and Haggerty falling back through the pack a little bit now. Up towards Goddard's they go, end of the lap, and Gabalana locks up. Vaidyanathan in 51, the red and white car locks up as well. We're getting, of course, the business end in the championship. Drivers knowing their title hopes could evaporate in this race if they're not ahead of Will Palmer. And they've only got 3 more races on the Brands Hatch Indy circuit to go as Haggerty makes his move up the inside going into Redgate. Picks off Jack Bartholomew, gains the position. Haggerty has been there or thereabouts all season, never really been able to deliver that breakthrough win though. Can it come before the end of the year? In this race, he's certainly got a lot of work to do though. The field turning its way now towards Schwartz Curve. Hernan Fallas is keeping at bay there. Omar Ismail and Sisu and Gabalana going better than ever, having one of his strongest showings of the season undoubtedly. The South African driver tries to find a way by on the run now up towards Coppice. Remember, up front is Will Palmer leading the race, and that is going to be enough to give him the championship with 3 races still to go. Chris Meelan's vacated, abandoned car needs retrieval, the safety car is deployed. The lead that Will Palmer had is about to disappear. Now let's try and piece together how Meelan got into the gravel. Down towards the old hairpin they come. He goes up on the inside look of Tom Jackson, runs a little bit wide through the corner, they make contact, and with damaged suspension, round he goes. Jackson has the momentum to go through the gravel and rejoin. Chris Meelin's spin comes to an end in the gravel, and if anybody else were to go off there, then of course they would hit that car, so it needs removal. Drivers weaving around to maintain the tyre pressures as well as the warmth as they come over the timing line. Let's have another look on board with Chris Meelin. Down towards the old hairpin, he's up the inside, he's over the curb, he runs wide, they touch wheels. Hard to apportion blame really, just one of those things as two drivers battle for the same bit of road on the first lap. We are ready for the restart. Will Palmer, race leader, champion-elect, now has to control the restart, which he does. He sprints away in advance of the final corner at Goddard's. Behind him is Rodrigo Fonseca, who early in the season was a championship rival, and then it's Harry Newey, who has come on strong, but it's a little bit too late. He's been scoring points in the championship, granted, but his first win came yesterday in race 1 of 3 here at Donington. Newey turning his way round Redgate onto the top of the Craner curves, and Harry Newey in third spot. You're riding with him, electing to race here rather than in his other campaign, the German Championship at Osserschleben this weekend. Down through the Craner curves, heading in towards the right-hander at the old hairpin, but the race leader Will Palmer is getting away, and he's being helped, of course, look, by Newey attacking Fonseca. That means that Rodrigo Fonseca has to think about defending, and that therefore means that Palmer will be getting away, as here comes Newey up the inside through Schrott's curve. He's done it, but he's on the outside for McLean. Now can he get the switch back? Can he get the inside line on the run up the hill? The answer is no. Rodrigo Fonseca hangs onto the place, and now they turn their way into Coppice. Will Palmer leads the way on the run down towards Fogarty's once again. Fonseca getting away from Newey, then it is Fallas, then it is Ismail, then Gabalana, then Vaidyanathan. There's a whole line of them all ganging up now on that third place car. Harry Newey busy defending for all he's worth. On board with Kieran Haggerty, who tries to work out how to get past Amaya Vaidyanathan just up the road ahead. Down towards the Melbourne hairpin, they both got up the inside of Ismail. Haggerty goes through as a very sideways Sisu and Gabalana recovers from a moment. Here comes Haggerty now to try and make his move on the outside line, and diving to the inside of Fallas goes Omar Ismail. Do they touch? It was very close if they don't, and Fallas comes off worse. He gets forced out wide. Haggerty pounces as they head over the timing line now. Loads of drama, as you might anticipate. Identical machinery and all young chargers determined to prove how good they are. Amaya Vaidyanathan drops back behind Kieran Haggerty. Will Palmer, meantime, looks like he's on a Sunday afternoon drive. Such is his dominance. And remember, when you see the size of the lead, that this is after a safety car restart that bunched them all up. Sisu and Gabalana is in the gravel. He's out of the race. That, I fear, is going to be another safety car, because that will certainly need retrieval from the gravel at Redgate Corner. There, Fallas under attack. Ismail goes one way. It's covered. Fallas defends, coming into Fogarty's. Now they've got 2 corners to go. There's the run down towards the Melbourne hairpin. There's the run up towards Goddard's. And while we're looking at people squabbling for position, remember that Will Palmer is about to win the championship. As really deep into the corner there go both Ismail and Fallas. But for now, all eyes are on the 2015 Duo BRDC F4 champion. Will Palmer crosses the line to win for the 10th time this year and to win the championship. What a season. Second over the line is Fonseca, then it's Newey, Fallas, and here comes Haggerty right on the tail of the Argentine driver. Bodywork flies even after the checkered flag. So close are they. As Charlie Kemp and there Jody Hemmings in the white shirt from HHC Motorsports celebrate an astonishing season. The man behind the wheel can celebrate soon as well. Confirmation of the results then. 6th goes the way of Omar Ismail behind Kieran Haggerty. Hernan Fallas 4th behind Harry Newey and Rodrigo Fonseca. But a 10th win gives the title to Will Palmer.
Great to take the championship, especially around early. So yeah, I'm really happy. It's been a great season, and I've got to say a big thanks to HHC for the job they've done. The car's been fantastic all season, so yeah, it's great to be able to give them their first F4 title, and it's great for me as well to win the championship.
What a weekend at Donington. Will Palmer crowned as the champion, but the battle is still on behind him. There's Harry Newey versus Tom Jackson with 3 races still to go.